Just hit
Three.
mute.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Yet another
Hello.
rendition of shameless plugs for my book. Hey, where did the decades go? Uh, my name is Mark Rose. I wrote the book, and I'm accompanied by my brother Greg.
Where?
And where? Yeah, he's here
Right here.
somewhere. Oh, that's right. I'm paying him by
Hello.
the hour, so I got to hurry up because
Now
he's
move it.
ticking.
Up to it, buddy.
And in this episode, we're going to get, I don't remember which chapter it is, but it's called Quicksand. And it's pretty obvious the main theme of this. But today, I'm going to let Greg set up the situation of where us little varmints learn about
There we
quicksand.
are. We're in California. We're 1963, 4, something like that. And it could be 5. And we're all having dinner, like in the old days. And we're sitting around the table, mom, dad, me, and Mark. And we're just kind of getting ready to eat. Side note, which is kind of funny, the big beverage of the day for my parents when we were growing up were 7 and 7s. And 7 and 7s. Well, that's kind of a hip drink now. But back then it was really hip. Everybody had them. Seagrams and ginger ale. And mom and dad always had that beverage ready to go when it was dinner time. I think they only had just one. I don't know. I don't remember them
I never
having.
remember drinking more than one,
Yeah.
but they were
But
tall glasses.
the glass was, much larger than my coffee cup.
Thanks for the comparison.
Yeah, we got to guess. But anyways, so we're all sitting around the table having dinner, and then
And off we go. So dad and mom are talking about what we have to warn the kids about. And she brings up
good idea.
the
Make sure to
quicksand.
warn the kids,
And we
especially
stare at each
me. I was
other,
only 2.
not really sure what quicksand is, and wait and file that away till after dinner when I go up to Nanner and say, Nanner, what is quicksand? And she stares at me and blows smoke in my face because of course she's smoking and says, quicksand killed the dinosaurs. And what our parents were trying not to tell us that there was a quicksand pit in the canyon directly behind our house, about a quarter mile down the way. So outside of where we normally played in the canyon, but wasn't that far.
Well, a
So
little side note: a canyon. Many people may not know what a canyon is. Maybe people would, but the little
the
canyon
can
was literally just behind our house. I mean, how the house hasn't fallen down in the canyon is amazing.
is another
But the
story.
that was a different story, different
That's
time.
the pool.
But the canyon. Go ahead, Mark. You can explain it because you were in the canyon.
Well, Greg's right. Our backyard was maybe 10 by 10, and then you took one step outside the gate and you went into the canyon, whether you were ready or not.
Which
No
is a long way
stairs,
down.
no steps, no nothing to hold, keep it from all washing away. And there was ivy there, and you would just make your way down to the bottom of the canyon, which was probably about 200 or 300 yards down from our house. So once you got to the bottom of the canyon, lots of little critters running around, horned toads and Gila monsters and spiders and all that kind of stuff,
Orangutans,
all the kind of good stuff.
dinosaurs.
And the canyon stories, there's a couple of stories about the canyon, but today's one is focusing on quicksand. So my buddies and I got together and I told them about the quicksand that the
And the
next day, which
dinosaurs.
was Saturday, and said, yeah, my Nanner says, and they all knew who Nanner was, said that, of course, she's an expert in dinosaurs, and said, you got to go,
She's
we
as
got
old
to
as a
go
dinosaur.
because there's some place that killed the dinosaurs. So the next day was Saturday. So we got up, ate breakfast, and then headed out. Now, this was pretty usual. You could be gone most of the day back then. You didn't worry about abduction or stuff. You came back for lunch and then you were out till the street lights came on. But in this case, we were out bright and early and off we go. And it was an important day. I had to get back soon because Dad was going to bring me to the first surround sound movie theater, and it was Battle of the Bulge. So we were
It was
looking forward
new.
to the tank battles, surrounding us in sound. We didn't have any idea what that might be. So off we go down into the canyon, which was pretty routine. So our parents didn't even pay
Down you
attention.
went.
And we're going down, and we hear some. We're now far enough away from our house we
Searching for the
can't see
quicksand.
it, and we're not really sure what quicksand is. So as we're stumbling along, we hear some big kids coming, and the big kids
Trouble.
are making noise, and we're looking for a place to hide because we're elementary school kids, and these sound like high school kids, so it's going to be trouble for us.
We're going to get beat up for sure.
And yeah, things are going to look grim. There's no adults around to save us, so we're just sitting there waiting to get our comeuppance and hoping we survive. So But to our surprise, the three teenagers show up. None of them has shoes. It's a rocky bottom on the canyon, so it's pretty uncomfortable. And they were cut. One of them was covered from head to toe in this white milky substance, and
Goo.
it had like clumps on it, like oatmeal on them. And the next one had it from his waist down, and then the other one, the last one, only had it around his ankles. And so the big kids were not intent on beating us up. They warned us about the quicksand, that it was down there and what happens if you go in it, which
Well, that
is,
was nice of them.
yeah, that it almost killed the first guy. And the second guy jumped in and tried to save him. And he started sinking. So the third guy, smarter than the first two, got a limb or something. And maybe there was four of them at one time. But we didn't know. But that just got our interest up, not being that smart, that we had to see whatever it was that killed the dinosaurs and almost killed the big kids.
Ugh.
So we continue down the canyon and have no real sense of where it is other than just staying on the bottom of the canyon. And we come up on it, and the quicksand was is just shows up, but it's not like a pool without direct or distinct outlines. It's just some
Just dirt.
places it juts into the land more, but there was a lot of rocks and stuff. So we started throwing them into the quicksand, careful not to follow the
Fun.
big kids fall.
Fun.
And then at some point, we looked, or I felt somebody watching us. And I turned, and out of the rising sun, there was a figure. And it wasn't like Hulk Hogan, it was my old man. And I'm looking up and go, oh God. And my
Well, you're
first thought
you're
is,
dead.
yeah, I'm dead. I'm not going to
Nice
get to
knowing you.
see Battle of the
He's gonna
Bulge.
throw
He's
you in
going
the
to go by
quicksand.
himself.
Teach you a
So
lesson.
I'm looking up, and he never was a lot for talking. So he just looks at it, he goes, let's go. And however many of us there were, we all toddle off. He didn't say one word to us about, almost dying or all those things. He didn't have to, because when we got home, I think my mom asked me about 74 times, what are you trying to do? Trying to kill yourself? And I would say, well,
You're
not
just dumb
on
kids.
purpose. It just seems to happen.
Just fun.
So that is the story of the quicksand in down in Ruffin Canyon, located in San Diego, California.
Well, the quicksand is that, but what happened after the quicksand mark? There was a stern talking to done to this young man, and he was brought to the garage.
Yes,
And in said garage, you would be delved the punishment that Dad deemed correct.
yes, Greg. Lest I forget, the pop was said, "Okay, come on, boy, we're going into the garage. You're gonna get punished." And
He
up
would
until
beat you
that
with a
point,
sunbed.
punishments were but not. They didn't have timeout back then, but you would get stuck in your room, and there was no TV, no Nintendo, so it
No
was really
phone.
awful. So you just had to stay there, or even worse, you had to go in Nanner's room, which was full of smoke and looked like Los Angeles. But I follow him in, and he goes, "Okay, bend over." And I was like, "Bend over." We got to tie my shoes. And he's like, "No, I'm going to spank you." And I said, "Spank me?" You go, "Stop repeating everything I say." So when he stopped, then I realized it. And having been in Catholic school, I knew that the time the first hit struck, that I should start crying immediately. Because if you get toughed it out, they hit you till you
Told him
cry.
before.
That was the nuns. So I can't imagine my old man that he would take it as a challenge to make me cry. So I was ready to start
I
sobbing.
would.
And he grabs a ping pong paddle, and I'm thinking, oh great, so it's not only going to be, I thought his hand was going to be bad enough, but he grabs a ping pong paddle, he rears up, and I'm looking at the arc of the ping pong paddle, waiting for it to strike my butt, and it hits it, and the paddle breaks. And at that point, both of us just start laughing. And that was my last paddling I ever got from Pop.
Well, there's no more ping pong paddles left.
Oh yeah, I destroyed the we only had one, so you had to share it. So I made the game
You had to
really
keep
hard.
tossing it back and forth to one another.
Yeah, one was handball, the other was ping tennis or table tennis.
We're about to buy another one, Mark. They're expensive, and you ruined one.
That's right. Where all these ping pong balls come from? We need to get tubes for the TV set. So, dear viewers, I hope you enjoyed this blast back in the past. Encourage you to go to my website, markroseauthor.com. You can leave your own hijinks, or if you haven't yet, I encourage you to get a copy of my book available on Amazon.
There you can
Greg, do
read
you
it.
have any words of wisdom for
See,
our
see all the
viewers?
words? You can read it. The
It's
Evelyn
full.
Woodhead sped reading course.
It is full of reading. And with that, thank you.
Toodaloo.